Hello and welcome back to FC26 Spin the Wheel series brought to you by myself, Bevchenko. Today we have two league games. First up is a home game against 11th place Brentford, followed by a trip to St James's Park as we take on the mighty Newcastle, which should be a bit of a grudge match for us. We currently find ourselves in 6th position. We need to finish in those top 5 places as per Evangelos Marinakis. However, everything we do is dictated by spinning a wheel. If you don't know the rules, check out the description below. But essentially, we spin a wheel for how we have to approach a certain game. So that could be playing a goalkeeper up front. It could be not using the sprint button. It could even be promoting a youth player, which we've had superb success with over recent weeks. So hopefully you're going to enjoy this series. Hit that subscribe button before we get away and it'd be very much appreciated. But first, we have the game against Brentford. How do we need to approach this game? So 13th place Brentford visit the City ground and we must... Well, this could be a tricky one today then because we can only score with headers or volleys. So we're going to drop Luis Enrique Coutinho for this match and start Evan Nilsson instead. I feel like we've got a better chance with some headers and volleys than our 60 rated superstar. So Carvalho gets underway with Jordan Henderson bringing the ball up. Rico Henry to Sade. This could be a very tricky game. Pavlidis. We have had some success with volleys, not so much with headers. I don't think our team's really built for headers. We've not got much height apart from Musa Niakate. I'm going to probably play it out wide here in the hope of bringing something in. And that's handball there. Oh, I wish we could have a shot. But we can't, so we have to dink it into the box and hopefully we can get a header. There's half a chance gone begging. Fofana brings it out wide, looking for another cross. Cross comes in. Evan Nilsson was waiting, but Brentford have got some height in that back four as well, so it's not an ideal game for us to be doing this. Cross comes in again. And Collins, I don't know how we're going to score today. We might be playing for a 0-0 if we're lucky. Dan and Doy down the line. Getting those crosses into the box, easily held by Keller. Jordan Henderson quickly getting it up forward to Sade, who passes it to Fabio Carvalho. Onyeka. Carvalho again, dances past his man. Lovely through ball. Where's the offside? He wasn't. Pavlidis out of nowhere there. Just burning the Forest defence. Dan and Doy down the line again. We need a magic cross today. Can we get one here? Oh, that would have been a fantastic volley. Flicks one up. Half volleys count, right? No, corner. Oh, that's a goal kick. That's how bad that volley was. As Brentford pump it up front. Dan and Doy comes better off with the header, but Carvalho flicks it over the top of him. Beautiful play by the Portuguese. Good player, Carvalho. Pavlidis, who I believe is leading the line here, but dropping very deep. Sade beats his man. Musa Niakate's done him as well. Forest in trouble here. Murato, who's been absolutely fabulous since winning his starting place this season. Another man who's been fabulous is Malcolm, who I believe will probably be our player of the year this year, unless Carvalho somehow continues his fine form. Pavlidis loses it out to Mauro Jr. Gives it to Fofana. Need that overlap by Jr. We get it. Jr. comes in, puts a cross in. Easily held by Keller. And once again, long ball upfield by the Brentford keeper. Brentford definitely sticking to their ways. We would absolutely batter these, I reckon. Victor has just scored for Arsenal. We would batter these if we could play normally. The way we've run down the wings, if I could just cut it inside and pass it, it would be a lot easier. Oh, Elliot Anderson. Great stuff by Ando. He's going to need Fofana to get on his bike a little bit. That's better. Fofana's got a bit more pace. But who is in the box? Plays the ball in. Oh, what is that? A terrible cross by Elliot Anderson. 39 played, still 0-0 at the City Ground. The wheel continues to handicap us. Carvalho has not lost the ball once today. Onyeka to Baha. Onyeka again, got to be careful here. Baha again. Carvalho is beaten by Morato. But they've won it back. Pavlidis. 1-0. Great finish into the top corner. We'll make a change as well. Callum Hudson-Odoi coming on. We're in trouble now. We're in trouble. Because unless we get some corners, can't see us scoring. Get in the box, guys. We'll lose the balls. Sharda takes it away. There's the half. 1-0 to Brentford at the City Ground as we are handicapped by the wheel, meaning we can only score headers or volleys. No changes for this second half. Obviously, we made one just before half-time with Fofana coming off for Callum Hudson-Odoi. And here is the man in question. Down the line by Hudson-Odoi. Puts the ball. It's a lovely ball. Nearly by Evan Nilsson. Anderson wins it. Good play. Plays it to Jed Spence, who's got a wicked cross on him himself. So if we can get something away, like that. And there's the header, and it's hit the crossbar. And not gone in. Unlucky. We've shown signs we can do something here. Can't get the ball away here. Anderson pings the ball in. Volley. Oh, from Carvalho. Matt Sells collects the ball. Pings it down the line to Callum Hudson-Odoi. Lovely ball. So Forest next up against Newcastle. Hopefully the wheel will be a bit more forgiving. Easily saved by the keeper, who opts to roll it out to Kayode this time instead of just pumping it long. Baha to Carvalho. He's done everything today, Carvalho. Elliot Anderson's played well as well. Here we go. Callum Hudson-Odoi whips a cross in. Handball. Edge of the box stuff. So we need to ping a lob pass in. Free header. Went for the volley by Moussa Niakate, which would have been quite interesting. But he has scored when called upon. When he had to play up front against Manchester United. Jed Spence puts the ball in. Another great ball. Volley. No. It's too far away. It's Carvalho heads it. Pings it away to Pavlidis. Pavlidis has led the line well up there today as well. I was going to say a lovely challenge by Callum Hudson-Odoi, but passes deflected back to a Brentford player. 67 gone. Forest still trail 1-0. We can only score by headers or volleys. Kayode wins it. Oh, lovely play by Callum Hudson-Odoi. Anderson won't have the legs for this. And there's no one supporting him. He's doing well, though. Is the Jordi Maradona. He can cut that back, which he does. Ball comes in, and there's a corner. It's a good play by Forest. Looking for another one with chance of scoring. Evan Nilsson. That's why we've put you in the starting lineup. Brennan Johnson coming on now for the final 15 in replace of Dan Ndoye. Bit of extra pace. Great play by Moussa Niakate. Ryan Yates is giving the ball away though. He's looking very tired today. Could be the next one to leave that starting 11. Mr. Nottingham Forest. Longest serving player, been at the club since he was 6 years old. Forest fans trying to drive their team on. It's Dango. Lovely one-touch football from Brentford as Jordan Henderson brings it forward. Jed Spence wins the ball. Now's the time for Forest to launch a counter-attack. This is when we need to score goals. Elliot Anderson 1-2 with Brennan Johnson. That's beautiful football. Forest have got numbers here. They need to make it count. There's the cross. It's miles offside as Malcolm flicks the header on. The referee didn't give play on there. Carvalho comes off after his arguably man of the match performance for Dromsgard. Jordan Henderson to Pavlidis. Pings the ball over the top there as well. Lovely ball to Sharda. Jed Spence tracks him. Jed Spence uses his body strength but mistimes his challenge, and the header comes in. And saved by Matt Sells. E10 stuff. But Forest cannot get out of their half now. Bouncing off Coyote. Collins. This should be a win for Brentford. A bit too tricky today against this towering defence of Brentford. We've had headers. We've not had any volley attempts. Elliot Anderson's played really well today as well. And there is the final whistle. 1-0 defeat for Nottingham Forest. So Newcastle United next up for Nottingham Forest. But how do we have to approach the game? Let's spin the wheel and find out. So what does the wheel want us to do against Newcastle United? Oh, and it's giving us the same challenge. We can only score with headers and volleys. No chance against Dan Burn, have we? I'm going to leave Coutinho in the starting lineup today. See if it makes it's not going to make much of a difference, but you never know. Hopefully Dan Burn is not starting for Newcastle. And on a rainy day in the northeast. Maro Jr. Former Forest player Anthony Elanga taking the ball off him. Johan Visser to Morato. Plays a lovely ball to Dan Ndoye, who gives it away needlessly to Dighton, who seems to be vacuuming everything up at the moment. Joe Linton. Lovely ball, but Ryan Yates comes off better with it. Here he is. Yow. There we go. Luis Enrique Coutinho with a ball to Dan Ndoye. Cross comes in. Headed away by Romaglu. Malcolm. Plays it out wide to Fofana. Plays it back. Oh, penalty, referee. Penalty, surely. Penalty, I think, there to Romagnoli. Are we not even allowed to score them, are we? We're not even allowed to score penalties, are we? I don't even know. What's our rules in this? Headers or volleys only, so we're going to have to miss it. So, let's change kicker to Matt Sells. We've got absolutely no chance here. Oh, no, I've not pressed anything, referee. Oh, thank goodness for that. Musa Nikate absolutely blasting that one wide. It's Nick Pope. Gets the ball underway. Fofana. Forest looking to take advantage of this Newcastle defence. We've definitely got the pace for it. Handball there. So cross comes in. Hopefully we can not get too close to Nick Pope. And there's a header. Oh, there was a chance. There it is. Forest have done it. Morato. His first goal of the season. And it's the header that we need. At the second attempt as well. That's questionable defending if you can get two away. Look at those reactions from Morato. Tonali. Lost the ball to Malcolm. Malcolm against his former club, remember. Another Wolver crossing on the header, on the volley. Elliot Anderson, well saved. More of a half volley, that one. It would have been allowed, though. I'm allowing half volleys. Joe Linton. Someone we've eyed up ourselves in previous transfer windows. Would love Joe Linton to join the Brazilian contingency that we've got going here at Nottingham Forest. Could potentially be a replacement for Ryan Yates. Oh, that's a lovely ball to John Wisser. And Matt Sells holds on well. Forest got to be careful because we need to make sure that we win this and not concede, because we're not going to score many headers and volleys. They're hard enough to come by as it is. Visser plays the ball, beats Elliot Anderson. Jordi Maradona and Joe Linton's through. Great save. Double save by Matt Sells. Unbelievable reflexes by the Belgian. Dan Ndoye's on the ball now. He's got no support. He's waiting for Jed Spence to ping one over the top. hits Dyson. And Newcastle fans cheer as they bring it forward with Sanchez, who seems to be playing instead of Malcolm now that he's left the club. Ball's going out for a throw-in though. Forest will be happy with that one. Ramo Jr. tries to play a ball to Fofana. It doesn't work, but he's won the ball back. And Fofana can't keep up with him. There we go. Fofana's using his pace now. That's a lovely ball, but not fast enough for Malcolm. Joelinton gathers. Anthony Gordon with his first touch today. It's the first time I've seen him overlapping Dyson. Joelinton back to Tonali. Sandro Tonali, excellent player at this level. Elliot Anderson again. The Geordie Maradona. Oh, Frazenda is now looking to assert his dominance in that right back spot because we can't get past him at all. Fofana. Alanga's pace. Forest are all too aware of that. Would love to bring him back, but it's unrealistic at this moment in time. Malcolm. Lovely ball to Fofana. If Carvalho can get in that box, we've got a chance. And there's another corner for Nottingham Forest. Can we score again? As Malcolm whips the ball in. Jed Spence is waiting. Malcolm again. A nice volley cross there. And Nick Pope comes out and collects it with ease. Dan Doy all over his man, but referees played on. Anthony Gordon loses out to Jed Spence, who loses out to Anthony Gordon. And pumps a lovely through ball to Johan Visser. Forrest's got to be careful now. Oh, Musa Niakate blasts it out for a throw-in. And that is the half. Nottingham Forest lead at St James's Park 1-0 thanks to Morato's header. So no changes to the second half as Visser gives it away. And Bruno Jimenez passes it to Tonali. Back to Bruno Jimenez. Joelinton hangs onto the ball well. Dyson loses it to Jed Spence. Forest launch a counter. You're able to keep it in there, Jed Spence. He's going to need Carvalho to make that run. There's no one making them runs on the volley. Malcolm hits Joelinton. Doesn't go anywhere with a lack of pace. Bruno Jimenez to Visser. To Anderson. Ball over the top. Lovely ball to Malcolm, but pressured with two Newcastle players and loses out. Dyson to Joelinton again. Well chased. Joelinton brings it forward to Tonali, who launches it across to Anthony Gordon. Forrest's got to be careful. Obviously, if you remember correctly, Anthony Gordon was the reason that Ola Aina lost his place at the club. And Forest never looked back again. With the signing of Jed Spence, Ola Aina got absolutely burnt in the cup by Anthony Gordon in the FA Cup. Lovely ball over the top, free header. Cleared away as the Nomad blasts it as far as he can. Joelinton picks it up though. And there's no doubt Dyson's going to look for Anthony Gordon, and he does. Forrest's got to be careful with his pace. Joelinton pings it into the middle, but it's headed away. Anderson picks it up. Oh, the Nomad stops Carvalho getting away. He's been restricted as Luis Enrique Coutinho due to the wheel and what it wants from us. There's definitely a player who likes the ball at his feet. And Fofana beat his man. He has done. When he appeals to get in the box now. Cross comes in. Lovely cross as well. Oh, Nick Pope just gets hold of it before Malcolm. Long ball upfield again. Niakate wins that one with ease. Malcolm lays it on to Dan Doy. Bit of trickery by Dan Doy to beat his man. He's got past Dyson. Let's put a cross in. It's a lovely cross on the volley. Fofana. Well wide. Not made for volleys, this team. But we'll take that 1-0 with that header. And Voltemades come up front now for Johan Visser. So it doesn't get much easier. Doesn't get any easier rather for Forest. Lovely ball through to Malcolm. It's looking for Carvalho. He finds Carvalho and here's the header. pushed in the back. But the referee says play on as Voltemade collects the ball. Looking for support. Doesn't have any whatsoever. Alanga's held on to it though. Lovely ball, and his pace should get the better of the Forest defence. And there it is, across. Matt Sells holds on to it well. 80 played, 10 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. Dan Ndoye plays it to Elliot Anderson, the Geordie Maradona, back in his hometown. Playing excellent as usual. Gives it away, does Dan Ndoye. Joe Linton to Bruno Jimenez. The pace of Elanga. Bruno Jimenez, and it's through. Elanga's through here. Great save by Matt Sells, double save. Matt Sells has made some unbelievable saves today. Nice turn by Guimaraes. He's literally made 2 point-blank double saves, which were going in. Coutinho, 16-year-old, needs that support. And he's got it, a lovely ball. Dan Ndoye. Needs people in the box, so there's no one there. He dinks it up, and there's a chance header by Malcolm, but there's no real power on it as he guides it towards goal. Whistle should go, and that is an excellent win for Nottingham Forest at a rainy St James's Park. So that win keeps Nottingham Forest in 6th place on 22 points. Liverpool just behind them on 21. In the top 5, you've got Chelsea on 22 as well as Forest. Arsenal on 23. Villa on 23. Spurs in 2nd on 23. And Manchester United yet to lose a game this season on 26. So it's very, very tight after 12 games. We could get in those Champions League places if we keep playing like this. If you've enjoyed today's episode, leave a comment, leave a like, and hit that subscribe button. Until next time, cheers.